Okay, so we are all packed and ready to go to Greece. I think there's enough room for everything. You know when you come to an airport 3 hours too early and then it's delayed for another 2 hours. So it's like full 5 hours in an airport. They did give us 10 euros to spend per person in the bar, which, considering that I had already 3 beers, it's probably gonna be a problem. I think that's our plane. Hello! Woohoo! Bye-bye. So after 5 hours at the airport waiting for the airplane, 2 hours on the airplane, 1 hour taking a taxi drive from the airport Heraklion to our lovely hotel here, well, we came at the break of dawn. The taxi driver was very nice to, carry the luggage. He was a little bit older chap, but, he was very friendly. And now we are here. They even gave us some kind of breakfast or lunch packs or dinner packs because we've missed everything because we came at the break of dawn. This is the little room. I mean, the room actually is quite nice. Seaside view, baby. Oh yeah. The hotel is really, really nice. It's called Sunshine Vacation Club's Resort in Crete. And it's kind of a cool, nice Greek style hotel. The personnel are really, really friendly and you really feel like you belong here, although it's just our first day. The outside area is really interesting because the hotel stretches all the way to the coastline, which means that, you have a snack bar and a drinks bar at the coast right there, I was hoping to show you guys, kind of an aerial view of this hotel complex, but I can't because first of all, it's really windy and there's a lot of people. I don't want to crash my drone or lose my drone somewhere very far away. We have an all-inclusive package, which means that we have, breakfast, dinner, supper, whatever stuff that comes in between. So all the drinks and all the foods. And I have to say the Mediterranean food that we had for lunch today, and it's kind of a self-service bar type of thing, is really cool because it's not too heavy on the stomach. Of course, you can have fried stuff as well. So I'm really hoping to get some evening golden hour photography done today. And yeah, let's just skip forward and see what comes out of this. So yesterday evening, I went out on the beach. I left all of the lights from the hotel and just took a walk on the beach with my camera and my new tripod that I've made a video earlier. And I was amazed at how many stars I could see with my naked eye. I could actually see the Milky Way. And this is the photograph that we're going to be making today. So basically, I could see the Milky Way with my own eyes because it's really dark, because we're looking towards Africa, towards Egypt, and there's no lights on the other side. So really awesome. Now, when it comes to astrophotography, there's a couple of ways you can approach it, and there's a couple of things that you have to do or have to obey the rules in order to make astrophotography possible. So first of all, let me talk about the 2 basic approaches to astrophotography. Now, you can take one long exposure shot, or you can take multiple shorter exposure shots with a higher ISO, more noise, but then you have more photographs and you can compose them all together and get rid of the noise in Photoshop. Now, I took a route somewhere in between. I took 3 photographs with the maximal exposure time of 25 seconds because I was shooting on the Tamron 17 to 28 millimeter at 17 millimeter, which means that if I follow the 500 rule, 500 divided by 17 gives me less than 30. So I went for 25 seconds. That assures that the stars are still going to be dots and not streaks across the sky, because the sky and the stars are constantly in motion. My aperture was set to f2.8 and my ISO was set to 2000. Now the image was a little bit underexposed considering the light meter, but with astrophotography you can't really trust the light meter. Just make sure that you have a low enough ISO in order to still get an image which is not too noisy. Now I took 3 photographs, which I'm then going to combine together to get rid of all of the noise, and I'm going to show you how this is done, because this is actually a photograph I came to Greece to capture. Let's dive into Lightroom over here. One photograph, second photograph, and the third photograph. Now you can see that the stars are moving. Now in order to get rid of the noise, I need all of the stars and all of the Milky Way structure to be perfectly aligned on one on top of the other. And at the same time, I need the bottom section where the foreground is to also be aligned, which means that I will have to approach this in two steps: the sky and the foreground. Now, before we dive into Photoshop and start composing the shots and creating the image over there, I'm just going to select all of these three images here in Lightroom, go to my develop page, and just play around with the settings. So first of all, this, and then just shift the sliders back and forth in order to get as much structure as I can from the foreground and from the sky. So fast forward. Okay, so these would be the basic adjustments in Lightroom. What I've done is I've got a little bit more structure from the sky and played around with the foreground. So let's export all of these three files into Photoshop. Okay, here we are in Photoshop. We have the three layers right over here. Now we need to separate the sky from the ground and work on them separately in order to get rid of the noise. So let's first approach the foreground. I'm going to duplicate all of these three layers, Control J to duplicate them. And because this was shot on a tripod, I know that the ground is pretty much at the same position, so I don't need to align everything. So if I just go here and use Convert to Smart Object, and then use the stacking of the Smart Object as median. So this will now stack all the three images and give me a nice clean foreground, as you can see. So this was before. You can see how much more noise there is, especially here, and then after. Okay, so this will be used for my foreground, and then on top of this I'm going to add the stars. So this I'm just going to put here. I'm going to name this foreground. Now on these three images, I need to get rid of the foreground in order for the star alignment to work, because these three images are not exactly the same. The stars are in a different position. So if I use auto align in Photoshop, it's going to tell me that it just cannot auto align things because there are three different images. So let's create a selection like this. Control Shift I to inverse this. Select this layer here and then just press delete. And then on this one, delete, and then on this one, delete as well. Control D to deselect. And now I can align this top section. So basically, select all three layers, auto align, and there we go. So the three images are pretty much perfectly aligned. Now this is possible because there is a Milky Way, there is some sort of structure in the shot. So let's merge all of these three layers into a smart object, just like we did before, and use the smart object stacking mode median. This will get rid of all the artifacts that are not consistent from layer to layer, and it will also get rid of a lot of the noise. So if I go back, you can see how this was before, and then a lot less noise. Now I just need to combine these two shots together. So the bottom section, which is the ground, and then the top section, which are the stars. In order for that to happen, I need to transform the top section, just make it a little bit larger, like this. And then I create a mask on this and just paint out everything that I don't need from the top star image. Just going to choose a nice soft round brush, make it a little bit bigger, softer, and then use the black color on the mask to actually get rid of this thing right over here. Bring back the rocks like this. It's as easy as that. Now, of course, I need to crop the image. So now the edges are pretty much okay. And this is how you align the stars with the foreground and get rid of the noise. So I just basically made 3 photographs with 25 seconds of exposure and combined them together to get rid of all of the digital noise. Well, not all of it, but quite a lot actually. So I'm going to fast forward with the edit, and you can play this section down slower on YouTube with, I don't know, 0.25 of the speed, and you will see how I edited this photo, because I'm not gonna take you step by step. this would be the end result. Now actually the end result that I made before was this one, and I think I made a very similar job. And that is it. This is the photo that I had to move to Greece to actually be able to take it, or something like this. So please consider subscribing to the channel if you're new, hit the like button, let me know what you think down in the comments, and I will see you in this video over here. So thanks for watching, bye bye.